Today, we're jumping into the life of one of history's most intriguing and debated figures, Napoleon Bonaparte. From a humble beginning on a small island to the emperor of a vast European empire, his story is nothing short of epic. So grab your popcorn, because this is a tale of ambition, genius, and incredible drama. Napoleon was born in 1769 on the island of Corsica, just a year after it became French territory. His family were minor Italian nobility, and as a boy, he was sent to military school in mainland France. He was often teased for his Corsican accent and his relatively modest background, but this only fueled his ambition. He was a brilliant student, especially in mathematics, and he quickly absorbed the principles of military strategy. The French Revolution was the perfect storm for a man like Napoleon. The old order was collapsing, creating a power vacuum and opportunities for talented individuals to rise, regardless of their birth. Napoleon, a fervent supporter of the revolution, first made a name for himself at the Siege of Toulon in 1793. His clever use of artillery forced the British and Spanish fleets to withdraw, earning him a promotion to brigadier general at the astonishing age of 24. His star was on the rise. In 1795, when a royalist mob threatened the revolutionary government in Paris, Napoleon was called upon to defend it. Famously, he ordered his men to fire cannons into the crowd, a brutal but effective move he called a whiff of grape shot. This act saved the Directory, the government of the time, and made Napoleon a hero in Paris. As a reward, he was given command of the French army in Italy. What followed was one of the most brilliant military campaigns in history. His army was poorly supplied and outnumbered, but through a series of lightning-fast maneuvers and decisive battles, he defeated the Austrian and Sardinian forces, securing northern Italy for France. He returned to Paris a conquering hero, his popularity soaring. But Napoleon's ambition didn't stop there. Eyeing France's main rival, Great Britain, he convinced the Directory to fund an expedition to Egypt in 1798. His goal was to disrupt British trade routes to India. While the campaign was a military mixed bag, his fleet was destroyed by the British under Admiral Nelson at the Battle of the Nile. It was a massive cultural success. The discovery of the Rosetta Stone by his scientists, for example, would later unlock the secrets of ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. While Napoleon was in Egypt, political instability was growing back home. Seeing his chance, he secretly abandoned his army and raced back to Paris. In November 1799, in a daring move known as the Coup of 18 Brumaire, he overthrew the Directory and established a new government called the Consulate. He was named First Consul, making him the most powerful man in France. The revolution was over and the age of Napoleon had begun. As First Consul, Napoleon proved to be as skilled a statesman as he was a general. He enacted a series of sweeping reforms aimed at stabilizing the nation. He centralized the government, reformed the banking system, and improved education. Perhaps his most enduring legacy is the Napoleonic Code. This civil code streamlined France's confusing legal system and established principles like equality before the law, freedom of religion, and the protection of property rights. It was so revolutionary that it's still the basis of law in France and many other countries today. By 1804, Napoleon's power was absolute. In a grand ceremony at Notre Dame Cathedral, he crowned himself Emperor of the French. He famously took the crown from the Pope's hands and placed it on his own head, a symbolic gesture showing that he owed his power to no one but himself. As emperor, Napoleon embarked on a series of military campaigns known as the Napoleonic Wars. For nearly a decade, his Grande Armée seemed invincible. He achieved stunning victories at battles like Austerlitz in 1805, often called his masterpiece, where he crushed a larger combined Russian and Austrian army. He redrew the map of Europe, placing his relatives and trusted marshals on the thrones of conquered nations. He created a vast empire that stretched from Spain to Poland. To weaken his persistent enemy, Great Britain, he instituted the continental system, a large-scale embargo on British trade. However, this policy backfired. It hurt the economies of his allies and fueled resentment against French rule. This resentment sparked nationalist movements, particularly in Spain, where a brutal guerrilla war known as the Spanish Ulcer drained French resources and manpower for years. Napoleon's first great misstep came in 1812. To enforce the continental system, he decided to invade Russia with a colossal army of over 600,000 soldiers. The Russians, however, refused to engage in a decisive battle. Instead, they employed a scorched earth strategy, retreating deeper into their vast territory and burning everything behind them. Napoleon captured Moscow, but the city was largely deserted and set on fire. With winter approaching and supplies dwindling, he was forced to order a retreat. The infamous Russian winter descended upon the Grande Armée. Starvation, frostbite, and constant Russian attacks decimated his forces. Of the 600,000 who invaded, fewer than 100,000 made it out. It was a catastrophe of epic proportions. This disastrous defeat emboldened Napoleon's enemies. A new coalition of Britain, Russia, Prussia, and Austria formed against him. The weakened French army was defeated at the Battle of Leipzig in 1813, also known as the Battle of Nations. The Allies invaded France, and in April 1814, they captured Paris. Napoleon was forced to abdicate. He was exiled to the small island of Elba in the Mediterranean. The victors thought they had seen the last of him, but they underestimated his charisma and his ambition. Less than a year later, in March 1815, he escaped from Elba, landed in France, and began a legendary march to Paris. The soldiers sent to arrest him instead flocked to his banner, and he retook the throne without firing a single shot. This period is known as the 100 Days. The European powers quickly mobilized again. The final showdown came in June 1815, near a small Belgian village called Waterloo. In one of history's most famous battles, Napoleon's army was decisively defeated by a coalition force led by the Duke of Wellington and the Prussian general von Blücher. His second reign was over. Napoleon was exiled to the remote and desolate island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic, thousands of miles from Europe. He spent the last 6 years of his life there, dictating his memoirs and crafting his own legend before passing away in 1821 at the age of 51. So, what is Napoleon's legacy? Was he a tyrant who plunged Europe into war for his own glory, or was he an enlightened reformer who spread the ideals of the French Revolution? The truth, as it often is, lies somewhere in between. He was a military genius, a brilliant administrator, and a man of boundless ambition whose actions shaped the course of modern history. Love him or hate him, there is no denying the immense impact of Napoleon Bonaparte. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through history. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see me cover next. Until then, stay curious.